I'm back, and I'm sorry I haven't really been uploading a lot lately just because I'm kind of working on some video ideas right now. I know somebody requested that I do a video of like everything that I feed my horses like in detail, but I figured that video would probably be very short because I've told you guys before, if you watched my videos, that I don't feed my horses any like special grain or supplements and that type of thing. So I feel like I'd be like, they eat this and this and this and that's it. Today's video I wanted to make because I know that, hey, it's Maya. If you don't know who that is, she's a bigger equestrian YouTuber, and she recently made a video, I don't know, a week and a half ago or something, about her selling of her horse. And I know a lot of people were giving her hate because she's selling her horse, and so I wanted to make a video about how I feel about selling horses and whatnot. So this video is just my opinion. If you guys watch my channel, you know that I make videos a lot of like this, so take it with a grain of salt. If you disagree, that's totally fine, but this is just kind of how I feel about it. Maya made this video talking about selling her horse Luna, and she was pretty beat up about it in the video. I could tell she was really nervous about telling people, and she said she's been thinking about it for a long time, and you could tell she was getting emotional in the video. And I could really personally tell from the video that she didn't want to do this or intend to ever sell her horse or have to sell her horse. It's going to be her second year in college, I think she said, and so she really can't afford it anymore, and she doesn't really have any other choice, and she doesn't have the time for Luna that Luna needs. Luna is her horse. So, when I watched the video, I did feel sympathy for her, because I can understand in situations where you never wanted to sell your horse and never thought that you would have to sell your horse, and then the day comes where you're like, I don't have a choice. You know, I can sympathize for things like that if it really was not your original intention to ever get rid of them, because I know for me that would be a very heartbreaking experience, which I'm glad I've never had to experience, but I can feel for those people, because nobody wants to do that. Or I guess some people do, which I'll get into later, but nobody should want to do that anyway. And you can definitely tell that she really loves her horse, and so I feel kind of bad for her, but I disagreed with some things that she said in the video. So in the video, she said that she can't give her horse the time that she needs because her horse has to be ridden all the time. Like, her horse can't sit and be ridden once or twice a week. To me, riding once or twice a week is not sitting. Okay, my horses sit for like 2 weeks at a time because I'm so busy with other things that I don't have time to ride them all every week, you know? But to me, I don't understand why a horse would need ridden all the time, like every day. And she says she tried co-leasing and it didn't work, or co-boarding or whatever, and I don't remember. She said she couldn't lease her out or something, and so I don't understand why people say that their horse cannot sit and has to be ridden all the time. Like, why? Why does your horse have to be ridden all the time? Like, to me, that just says, like, no, I need to ride my horse all the time, otherwise she's going to be a total pain in the ass when I get her out the next time I ride her after she sat for a week. But honestly, that's what comes with having horses. You have difficult times, and sometimes your horse has a bad attitude, and sometimes they're great. But that doesn't mean your horse needs ridden all the time. Like, your horse doesn't need ridden to depend on their health or anything, or their sanity, unless you're locking them in a stall 24 hours of the day, and the only time they ever get out of their stall is to be ridden. Like, in that case, yes, I can see your horse after sitting for a week in a stall is going nuts because they can't move or think about anything or do anything. So yeah, when you get them out, they're going to go crazy. So I don't know, why can't your horse just be turned out to a pasture and be with other horses and socialize with other horses and be in a herd and just be a horse. Because that's all horses want from us. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but horses don't want anything from us humans other than to just let them be a horse and to understand them. So, I mean, I don't really get where she's coming from when she says that her horse can't sit or can't be ridden once or twice a week. I don't get that. Why? Why can't your horse sit for a week? Like, even if you ride it once a week, like, why can't, I don't know. That's how confused I am. That's why I don't get it. Like, what? And the other thing, she said that she wants to ride other horses and try different things and new opportunities and stuff. But to me, I feel like if that's how you're going about horseback riding or equestrianism or whatever, then you shouldn't have bought a horse. Then you should lease horses. Because I personally don't believe in people buying horses for short term and then selling them to get another one that's gonna progress them or graduate them, and then selling that one later and getting a more difficult one. Like, that is not what horse ownership is about to me. That's what, like, leasing and taking lessons is for. When you own a horse, when you take in an animal that's going to be your personal animal, like, you kind of make that commitment to an animal that you're going to take care of them and that you are going to, I don't know, you're going to be their home for as long as possible. Whether that means up until the day they die or whatever. But to me, you don't just buy horses and sell horses willy-nilly like it doesn't matter. And not that she was trying to do that, because I don't think she was, based on how, you know, disappointed she felt in the video for having to sell her. But there are people out there that do that. There's a lot of people out there that just buy a horse. Okay, I need to graduate to something better or bigger or harder. Sell that horse, buy a new horse. I even know people personally that do it all the time, and to me it's very irritating to watch their horses go from home to home to home. And a lot of people don't like horses that have been in a lot of homes. I mean, I know BB, before I got her, she went to a lot of different homes. And even with the same owner, you know, being moved around a lot. But I think when you own a horse, when you want to buy a horse, you should buy a horse that's going to suit your needs for a long time. That's why a lot of people go 10 years of riding and don't buy a horse, because they want to keep graduating. And once they're at the top and know what they want to do, then they'll buy a horse. And kudos to those people. So I don't think that it should be just like, I don't know, blown off or like ignored, that people just go through horses like no other. I mean, I know people personally that, this one friend of mine, she's had so many horses just since I've known her, which has been, you know, maybe 10 years. She's had so many horses, like probably 10 or 15 horses. And I don't know, she had these when I met her, these really good horses, and then she got some other horses that were for trail riding, and then this horse had a problem, this one was too spooky, this one had an attitude, so she sold those, got new horses. Those ones got too old and stiff, so she sold those ones, and now she has horses that she's showing. So, to me, I don't like that. I don't think that you should just be like, done with this one, done with that one. This one doesn't work anymore, I'll get a new one. Like, horses are living beings, you know. They do have thoughts and feelings. Like, it shouldn't just be okay to be like, this one doesn't work, whatever, I'll just get rid of it. Like, and that's why it irritates the crap out of me when everybody, all the parents, want to get their kids ponies. Like, oh, it's so cute, my kid's like 5 years old, I'll just get a little miniature horse. Unless you plan on keeping that miniature horse when your child grows out of it and adding another horse to your family, stop buying your kids miniature horses. And the problem I have with parents is everybody thinks that it's just a phase. Like, oh, my kid loves horses, I'll buy her this miniature horse, and once she's done with it, then I'll sell it again. Okay, stop with the ignorant bull crap. Put the animal before yourself and get your kid into some lessons. And once she gets over it and doesn't care about horses anymore, you could just pull her out of lessons, okay? You don't have to sell an animal and find an animal a new home and put that animal under more stress and some animals get depressed and whatnot, moving from different homes all the time. And that's why ponies have such a bad rap, because ponies are the ones that get sold around all the time for this exact reason. And they become little brats that bite and kick and can't be caught and all this crap because they have to deal with little kids all the time. So stop buying your horses ponies, please, or your kids ponies. Buy your kids a decent sized horse. I'm very thankful that my parents got me 2 horses that were, regular size, because I could ride those horses until I can't ride anymore, until they can't be ridden anymore. So, yeah. So, when is it okay to sell a horse? I think it's okay to sell a horse. I don't want to sound like a hypocrite or anything. Like, for what I do with my project horses, you guys know I buy horses that are untrained, that have been abused or whatever, and I train them and resell them. I don't have a problem with people that do that, because the intention for this is never to make it my personal horse. Obviously, I want to build a relationship with the horse, but like with Chloe, I am training her so that I can send her off later in her life to have a forever home and to have a job. Because Chloe was freaking insane when I bought her. She's scared of everything, scared of people. So really what I'm trying to do is prepare her for a future forever home where she's going to be loved and taken care of the rest of her life. And doing this is going to help her do that, because otherwise who is going to buy this pony afraid of everything, to have a forever horse? So if you're doing the project horse type thing like I do, I totally understand that, because I don't want to sell Chloe unless she's going to go to a forever home, because Chloe has that emotional and mental damage that I want to make sure she goes to a good forever home where she's going to be taken care of and loved for the rest of her life. And I know places around, there's a place around where I live that does lessons for little kids, and they have all kinds of ponies. Like, I'm not going to sell her to some parents that want to buy their kid a pony, that is for sure. I will never, never do that. Because Chloe would be the horse to kick or hurt some little kid because she got scared of a little kid who doesn't know what they're doing or is screaming and what. Okay, I'm going a little bit on a rant right now, but anyways, so that's one time when I think it's okay if you want to sell the horse. 2, I don't really think it shouldn't be an okay option just whenever it comes up for a situation like Maya's where she really didn't want to do it and she has no other option. Because personally, I think that's poor planning on her part. I think she should have prepared when she goes to college, how am I going to afford a horse? Because she said she's only had this horse for 3 or 4 years. So 3 years ago, she would have been in high school. So when you buy a horse, you have to think ahead. So that, I wish she would have done that and thought ahead, like, how am I going to take care of these horses, or this horse when I go off to college, and make sure she could afford it. But if you have no other option, then I guess that's the only way you can do it. But I don't feel like people should just be like, oh, can't afford the horse anymore, gonna sell it, get a new one. Because that's just not alright, in my opinion. So don't buy an animal unless you are prepared to take care of an animal very long term. So, and the other pet peeve I hate when people sell their old horses. I hate when people do that. Like, when you've had these horses for so long and now that they're old, can't hold weight anymore, can't be ridden, super slow, can't keep up with the herd, now you have to sell it and get rid of it because it no longer benefits you. Like, such arrogance, that right there. One thing I did really respect about the ranch that I used to work at was that all of their old, horses that had served them so many years of camp, so many years of trail riding, they kept all their horses for life. Like, they didn't just sell their horses once they got old and couldn't keep up, riding anymore, they kept all their horses for life because their horses were loyal to them for so long that they were going to be loyal to their horses back and not just sell them off somewhere once they got too old to do anything. And that's hard when you're running a business. So I always liked that about the ranch, that they kept all their horses until they died. But yeah, so that's kind of my opinion. No hate to Maya. Don't go send her any hate. I kind of feel bad for what she's going through, but let that be a lesson to all of her viewers that you need to plan this before you buy a horse, especially if you're older in high school. How are you going to pay for these horses when you go off to college, especially if you board them? Because board takes up most of the big expenses. And if you're looking at a horse, does this horse have any degenerative problems? Anything that could come up that's going to cost lots of vet bills? All that good stuff. So prepare and plan for that before you buy a horse. But best of luck to her. I hope her horse finds a great home. The thing I want to add before I close off this video is I wanted to tell you guys about a girl I found on YouTube where I really like her videos, and she's just kind of starting out her channel, and I think you guys should all go give her some love on her channel. She's called Dreamcatcher Horsemanship, and she makes very similar vlogs to how I do them. And she is also a horse trainer that has her own little business, and I really like her videos. I think if you guys like my vlogs, you'll like hers as well. So I'll have her right up here above me, and you can go check out her channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you want to see anything else, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!